in support of World Autism Awareness Day. That is tomorrow, and they really are some nice jerseys, don't you think, Ryan?
Yeah, lots of color to pop out there on the field to start, but obviously the main focus for those jerseys is the autism awareness. They want to bring light to it, and that's a great cause to start off here for Coach Joe Mickey. Good cause for the boys, and you've got to be proud of them out there if you're the parents of the Sabercat baseball players.
Absolutely. There has to be some extra sense of pride when they put those jerseys on. And it is a bit of a warm one out today with some wind today blowing from right to left, but that we'll see how much of a factor that is in today's game.
The wind has been on and off so far here in our pregame sort of preparations. It's been hitting with some good pace out into the left field at times, and then other times it's been pretty dead. So let's see how that affects both innings, each half of each inning as well.
Yes, absolutely. And we are scheduled for a 3:45 first pitch today. At the moment, ALA Queen Creek is warming up on the field with Saguaro getting ready in their dugout. And I believe we will go ahead and come back to you in just a moment. We're going to take a break. Thank you for tuning in to the Varsity Sports Show Network.
Thousands of athletic teams depend on Adrenaline fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Their goal is twofold. First, to equip athletic teams to meet those goals by raising more money in less time and providing the very best technology through their digital platform. Their job is to take the fundraising off the coach's plate and guide them through steps that are proven to get results every time. How easy? There are teams raising over $50,000 in just an hour. It starts with one call to Adrenaline, 602-999-1845 or adrenalinefundraising.com.
Introducing Maverick Electric Bikes, the world's newest and most modern bike to date. The 7-speed Shimano drivetrain gives you the flexibility to get a workout in, relax and cruise, or grip it and rip it. Maverick bikes are collapsible, so you can take them anywhere, anytime. With up to 25-mile-per-hour speeds, 60-mile range, and all-terrain capabilities, we're breaking the mold of the e-bike industry. Life is short. Ride Maverick.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show Network. We are here with the matchup today in the 4A Desert Sky region between Saguaro and American Leadership Academy Queen Creek. Now, these two teams played earlier this week, Ryan.
So yeah, you're correct. Saguaro and ALA Queen Creek did face off Tuesday in Queen Creek. We saw the Sabercats pull out a 14-5 win to improve their record to 3-3, 2 straight wins for the Sabercats. Queen Creek, who drops to 2-3 after that game with 2 straight losses. The key today is going to be the pitching matchup. We saw Thomas DeCesaro last week on the Varsity Sports Show Network put in a good performance against a very good Mesquite Wildcats team. He'll look to do the same on the mound for Saguaro against Jacob Provencia, who seems gettable based on his one appearance. He's 0-1 with a not-so-healthy ERA of 147. And from there, I guess we'll work on, you got to find some bats on this kind of pitcher who's struggled. It's only one outing, small sample size, but clearly need to find some hits early, get the pitcher out of there, get them into the bullpen where you can really do some damage if you're Saguaro. And for DeCesaro, like we said, keep the momentum going. He got a win against a very good Mesquite team. Let's see if he can do it again and get to his second win of the year early on in the season for the Sabercats.
Absolutely, and as you were saying, getting some hits and some runs on the board, that's absolutely what they did earlier this week, getting 14 runs in that, 14 runs as well as 14 hits in that game on Tuesday. And now both of these teams have put up a total of 41 runs this season. But the main difference between the two has been on the defensive end, with American Leadership Academy giving up a total of 51 runs this season. Meanwhile, Saguaro has been able to hold their opponents to 31 runs across this season. And at the moment, we do have our 2 umpires at the plate with the head coaches meeting.
And Sammy, you talked about defense being another key out here with some runs given up by Queen Creek, but also I want to talk about Saguaro and how at times this year they've struggled with errors early on in games that have kind of cost them opportunities that they had. This is a chance for them against a team that they've already beaten. They should have some confidence coming into it to kind of slow down those errors and kind of figure it out from a fielding perspective, especially your catcher who has had some struggles throwing to second base. You want to look for him to have a lot more success today. He's had a lot of success at the plate. Now behind the plate in that crouched position, you want to see if he can have some more success for the Sabercats.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Both teams had a couple errors in their game earlier this week. And Saguaro actually was down early in the 3rd inning by a run, but they bounced back the next inning and got 2 on the board. I believe we are going to start the lineups for the game.
Number 8 playing right field, Peterson. Batting second to center fielder, number 9, Lilly.
Yes,
Batting
and
third and playing shortstop, number 11, Lindauer.
this is the lineup for the Patriots. We have Connor Peterson, he'll be in right field today. Ty Lilly, he'll be over in center. Ethan Lindauer, he will be at shortstop. Jacob Provencia will be on the mound today, with Austin Aldu at third base, Jonathan Veerman at first base, Braden Emke over at second, Josh White in left field, and Danny Arnson behind the plate. And of course, the Patriots are sporting some gray tops with some blue trim and some white pants. A few of the players wearing some stirrups.
Coached by John Kuntz.
Yes. And now for the Saguaro Sabercats lineup. They, of course, are wearing those jerseys again in honor of World Autism Awareness Day tomorrow. They will also be wearing some white pants, and it looks like the entire team is sporting some black socks with the unis. The unis looking great today for the Sabercats. Leading off for the Sabercats, we'll have Ty Nelson. He'll be playing shortstop today, followed by Thomas DeCesaro. He will be pitching today on the mound. Javen Jacobs, he will be in center field, batting in that 3-hole. Caleb Simpson will be batting cleanup. He'll be at third base. Tanner Nelson will follow him. He will be in right field. Cale Herrera will be over in left. Frank DiGregorio will be behind the plate. Cole Stocks will be over at first. And rounding out the lineup for the Sabercats is Aiden Bronska, and he will be playing second base.
I want to talk quickly about that 9 spot for Saguaro. Aiden Bronska, who I'm not quite sure, I can't remember if he batted in the 9 spot last time out against Mesquite. But against Mesquite, we saw a big win for Saguaro, as we've continued to talk about in the pregame. That 9 spot was key in getting you back to the top of the lineup, getting a runner on base for your big guys in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. And that was the key to the win over Mesquite. So look for Bronska to have a lot of success hitting 9th today. And if he doesn't, see if someone can come in and do a little bit more than what he was able to do early on.
Yes, and Bronska on the season, he is batting .333 on the season with 1 RBI. He does have 5 hits, and that is for the junior, again, Aiden Bronska, as the Sabercats are taking the field now as we get ready for the national anthem prior to the first pitch.
Playing second base, number 13, Aiden Bronska. Would everyone please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem?
And the Saguaro Sabercats, of course, coached by Joe Mickey, with the assistant coach being Cody Fortney and pitching coach Dave Fortney.
With the wind blowing from right to left field with a temperature of 93 degrees.
All right, folks. So we've got DeCesaro taking his warm-up pitches, throwing a little bit of heat here early. Number 8, Peterson, getting ready to lead us off for the ALA Queen Creek Patriots. We have just finished a little bit of pregame maneuvering here in the booth, would you call it? I don't know. I think I'd call it it's a setup, we'll say. I'm now in a lawn chair, but we work anyway.
Absolutely. I like setup better than
Booth.
than that booth. Yeah.
I agree. Certainly not a booth. But, again, you've got to look at DeCesaro on the mound. I know we've talked a lot about him and Bronska in the warm-up. There's guys like Javen Jacobs out there in center field who's done an excellent job this season of covering that outfield and being a leader out there. Cody Simpson at the hot corner picked up some big hits against Mesquite. First baseman, Cole Stocks, the new first baseman, for me at least. We saw Kurt Arnold out there against Mesquite. The middle infield remains the same. The outfield, right field, center fielder, and left field are all the same. So a consistent lineup starting to build early in the season for Saguaro. You'd love that if you're Joe Mickey. You'd love to see that consistency.
Yes, absolutely. And just as you were saying, consistency, I think that's the most important thing for DeCesaro on the mound today. It's just throw strikes and throw strikes early in the count. And of course, like you said, leading us off for the Patriots is going to be Connor Peterson, number 8.
And I found yet another chair as we go to the first pitch.
Strike 1 in there for DeCesaro with the first pitch. And there it is, just as we were saying, strikes early in the count.
Low in the zone, get him chasing early is the key for DeCesaro here with with Simpson. Cody
Nice.
Simpson?
That is going to be 0-2. The swing and a miss by Peterson brings up 0-2. And a foul tip. It's heading straight over to us. As Peterson stays alive in the count. Like to see DeCesaro throw some type of off speed here. Show what he's got. Misses on the outside there.
Very close early from DeCesaro there. He's like in the bottom of the zone here against Peterson. Let's see if that continues as we go to the 2 and 3 hitters and perhaps beyond for Queen Creek here in the top of the first.
And the 1-2 is hit. A high chopper over to second base. Ooh, and it gets through the gap. Some miscommunication there between the shortstop and the second baseman.
And
That would be Bronska and Nelson.
And those early fielding mistakes we talked about in the pregame that came back to haunt them in earlier parts of the season, especially at the beginning of that Mesquite game, that they kind of turned the corner in the second half and turned the corner against Queen Creek on Tuesday. They resurface here again with that miscommunication in the middle infield. As a batter is picked off on first base by DeCesaro, and that's going to be the first out of the game.
Right, a successful pickoff play over there.
Great
that'll
work
be the
from DeCesaro on the mound.
in the first pitch.
Sorry for the miscommunication there, folks. He fouled off the first pitch, and he fouls off the second pitch. An 0-2 hole early for Ty Lilly, and an 0-2 lead for the pitcher Thomas DeCesaro. Saguaro looking strong here early, despite an error in the middle infield.
Yeah, it's important to not let that get to you when you're on the mound. Things that you can't control, and that will be a big swing and a miss for Peterson.
Sidearm delivery from DeCesaro. He likes that in tight spots. He changes it up from time to time. It's mostly a consistent pitching motion, but he always sorts to lean a little more side to side in a tough spot. 2 outs here.
With 2 outs, Ethan Lindauer, the shortstop for the Patriots, will come up. Good low pitch inside there for DeCesaro. Will bring up an 0-1 count.
Clearly liking the low strike zone, getting a lot close to that line. The umpire behind the plate being a bit generous here early on.
And a good breaking ball, getting Lindauer way out in front on that one. DeCesaro gets himself in front again, 0-2 in the count. The 0-2 pitch. Lightly hit, and it will drop right in front of the center fielder. That was right in front of Javen Jacobs. And Lindauer gets on base with 2 outs now.
Nice hit for Lindauer there and an 0-2 count to sort of solve it a little, get on first base. Second runner for Queen Creek today. Obviously, we saw the pickoff by DeCesaro and a good play by Stocks at first to open us off. Now we're at the 4-hitter, the pitcher, Jacob Provenza.
And a good pitch right there by DeCesaro. Again, strikes early in the count.
And you said it there. You said the key at the beginning of the game. Work the strike zone consistently, and he's done that early on for the Sabercats.
That one low gets away from the catcher, and Lindauer will move over to second on that one. That one looked like it just was a bit too far outside and hit off the glove of catcher.
Frank DiGregorio.
Thank you, DiGregorio.
I've been doing this for 2 games now. I'm seasoned.
The 1-1 pitch. Low and inside. We called a ball. It'll be a 2-1 count for DeCesaro.
Let's see how the runner on second affects DeCesaro today. He struggled a little bit with that at Mesquite last week. Really caused both pitchers a lot of trouble last time out. Let's see how he adapts with a runner on second and even a runner on third this time around.
It'll be low in the zone. Again, 3-1 as DeCesaro falls behind in the count.
Kicking some dirt off the mound, a little bit of frustration a little bit here with the batter. And we've got to figure this out if you're Saguaro. It's a tough spot, but it's a spot you've got to get out of the inning, and you've got to make sure no runs get on the board early.
Yes, you don't want to give up any 2-out rallies. As that one is fouled off, it'll bring up a full count for the pitcher, Provencha. We'll see what he comes at him with, whether it'll be an off-speed pitch or he'll just go right at him.
Provencha steps off. A nice big frame for the pitcher there. Let's see what he comes out with at the bottom of the inning and see what he throws. I'm sure the Sabercats are looking at him right now, wondering what they're going to get when they're at the plate.
Hard ground ball gets past the second baseman. We'll see if there's a play at the plate. The throw to the cutoff is over, and there is not. He is safe. That is Lindauer coming home after an RBI from Provencha as the Patriots take an early 1-0 lead on DeCesaro, and that was almost your worst nightmare if you're DeCesaro. You get the first 2 outs like nothing, and then a base runner gets all the way around.
Provencha with a RBI single here in the top of the inning.
And that one is high. We'll bring up a 1-0 count for Austin Aldis. Excuse me, I believe I pronounced it Aldu in the opening. As that one is fouled back behind us right here.
Down onto the softball field. We had a couple out there last time out. They're out there practicing. Hope nobody is in the line of the ball there. Provencha on first. He gets a courtesy runner to start to prep himself on the mound.
Yes, and it looks like, well, we'll get you a number and name for that base runner once we.
Porter McCabe. Number 6, Porter McCabe is the courtesy runner for Queen Creek, and he's causing DeCesaro a bit of troubles on the mound already within the first appearance of his day.
And that one is fouled off. These Queen Creek Patriots of American Leadership Academy are all over DeCesaro to start. Now a 1-2 count for DeCesaro. He's about 20 pitches into the game in this first inning. Definitely just want to get out of this, preserve that arm.
He was at a similar space last time out against Mesquite, so he's shown a proficiency to struggle early here, but he also obviously had a much better game, was able to finish out the game and go 7 innings in a win. So he's shown an ability to also calm down as the game progresses for Saguaro.
And that one will be low, kind of all over the zone here against Aldis. It'll bring up a full count again here for DeCesaro.
Big time pitch for DeCesaro to see it out. DiGregorio, let's see how long it takes him to find a call that they agree on. And it looks like right away they find what they like.
And that will be outside, a close one there, but he will give up the walk to Aldis. And that will bring up Jonathan Viermans,
who is actually wearing number 19, but I don't know. We'll figure that out as we progress. Either way, Viermans is at the plate. Look for some power here.
And a big cut on that first pitch.
Effortless swing from Viermans, clearly just relying on a lot of power here, but it looked big nonetheless. Big leadoff on first base, and second for McCabe and Aldu.
And that one is in there. Little high, about chest level. But that will, again, get DeCesaro to an 0-2 count. We'll see if he can stay on top this time and get out of this inning with runners on first and second. The 0-2 right down the middle, looking, and DeCesaro will walk off the mound.
Frustration for Veermans there, but DeCesaro gets out of an inning that started off strong, ended a little bit shaky, but he gets out of it nonetheless as we go to the bottom of the first here at Saguaro High School on a Thursday, April 1st.
Haven't had any nasty complaints or emails about you yet, so I think we're doing okay.
For the first week, I thought I was...
Everything you've ever told yourself, every form of resistance, every fight you've ever battled, every problem that you've ever had, we've got the solution for it. It starts with you.
Get back. Heard somebody said I wasn't poppin'. Well, they been misinformed. I got 100K in my pocket. I be outside, tone carbon with young shooting like hard. Beg your pardon. I just put the paddock on the throwaway. Shout try to take solo away. Beg your pardon. Big body roll, give me road race. Swerving in an Aston Martin. Beg your pardon. Heard somebody said I wasn't poppin'. Well, they been misinformed. I got 100K in my pocket. I be outside, tone carbon with them young shooting like hard. Beg your pardon. I just put the paddock on the throwaway. Shout try to take solo away. Beg your pardon. Big body roll, give me road race, swerving in an Aston Martin. Well, if I may speak freely, we gon' get a bag if we need it. Bust it down, flip it, repeat it. Sucker be greedy. We were never playing in the game. If it won, for we lost, we cheated. Hold up, they ain't made a game, you can play on me. I just be praying for these, they pray on me. They got another thing coming home and they gon' see. I got the blessing of an angel every day on me. Okay, cherry. Used to have me where I'm from, tell them bank here, but the earth my turf. Word, wonder what's up under my shirt. Wonder why I ain't getting searched. Till
Going to be the key for your Saguaro Sabercats batters today on the offensive side of the ball. Keep him in that rut. If you can start off early, get out strong, get some hits, really keep it going, then you might be able to sneak in some runs here early and then perhaps late as they have to go to the bullpen.
Yes, and leading us off here for the Sabercats is Ty Nelson. He's playing shortstop today with a batting average of .222. He's driven in 2 runs today. 2 runs this season. 4 hits on the season. In the first pitch. Low. And it will be the first ball of the at-bat for Nelson. And right to work goes Provancha. We'll see if he looks to keep that pace today. That one will be called a strike. Looked a bit outside. But that will even out the count at 1-1.
We've lost the scoreboard out in left center, so we'll see if we can keep track of that ourselves out here now.
Yes, I do believe it is a score of 1-0 as that one is driven deep into center field by Nelson. It will one-hop the wall. The center fielder will play it as Nelson heads to third, and he's going to round third, heading for the plate. The play at the plate. The throw is not in time, and he is safe and inside the park home run to start the first inning for Nelson and the Sabercats. Some good speed there around the bases.
100%. Ty Nelson digs deep on the first at-bat of the game, gets a deep fly ball at center field, touches high on that wall that sort of extends beyond the rest of the level line out here in the outfield. And then digs a little bit hard on second. You saw Joe Mickey out at third base coach willing him into to home, and he rounds that third with a lot of speed, a lot of really good stuff. Gets the first run of the game for Saguaro. It's 1-1.
Yes, and that first pitch is to Thomas DeCesaro now. And that one was low, a ball.
Looking to help his cause on the mound early on here. He did a good job of that against Mesquite. And he probably did a good job at the plate last time out against Queen Creek. So let's see if he can continue his streak of good performances here for the third game in a row against Jacob Provencia.
Yes, and as you were saying, DeCesaro having a rather successful season, as that one takes a rough hop for the third baseman, and it gets through. The left fielder will have a play after it takes a rough hop off the wall, misses the cutoff. And now the Patriots gather themselves and get it back to Provencia. That is a double for DeCesaro. And as we were saying earlier, the Sabercats on top of Provencia early. And that is going to be the key for them, is to score runs and keep them coming.
The bats have been hot really since the second half of that Mesquite game. They were all hot against Queen Creek in Queen Creek last time, out with 14 runs, and they've started off really well here. Obviously, DeCesaro with a double. He almost went to third, was held up by Joe Mickey at third base. We got a courtesy runner out there. Those jerseys make it tough to see the numbers, so we're sorry for you at home.
The first pitch to Javen Jacobs is in the dirt. It'll be the first ball.
Javen Jacobs, we already talked about his really good workout in center field early on for the Sabercats. He's also been very good at the bat. He was the catalyst against Mesquite. He started that big run to get him the upset win. And let's see if he can keep it going again here. Lead off at second. Pitcher not even worried about him, just throwing it to the plate. Now he gives him a check.
And that one again is in the dirt as the base runner takes off, and he is in there safe. That was a
Still
great.
Can't see the number, but an excellent steal, excellent leadoff, good timing.
Yes, the timing was perfect on that. Some excellent base running. We will, of course, get a number when we can. Now the 2-0 to Jacobs. As Provencia now goes from the windup. That one is going to be outside as Provencia falls way behind in the count. Now 3-0 to Jacobs.
Tough start for Queen Creek, you've got to think. John Kuntz will not be pleased with his fielding efforts to start off here.
And a good way to bounce back there for Provencia.
He's got to use that. He's got his first pitch that's really been solid and hasn't really allowed the batter to do anything. He's got to keep going with that.
Here's the 3-1 pitch from Provencia. Low again in the dirt, and that will walk Jacobs. As we now have runners on first and third. Caleb Simpson, the third baseman, coming up for the Saguaro Sabercats. And back to that inside the park home run to start off the inning by Ty Nelson. Something that was crucial on that play was the throw from the center fielder missed the cutoff, and because of that, that gave Nelson the time that he needed to get around third base and make it home in time.
And we saw that same mistake on the second at bat for DeCesaro. Another cutoff missed for Queen Creek, so let's see what they can get, if they can get some balls into the outfield. And there's clearly some troubles early on, but also look for Queen Creek to figure that out as the game progresses. You probably won't get as much of that later on, so take advantage of it while you can. For Caleb Simpson, who was a big contributor as a senior for the basketball program this year and has started off strong for the baseball team.
That one is hit sharp to first base as the first baseman will make the play. That is Jonathan Vierman.
Runner scores, though. Looks like number 7, Jacob Pickett.
Yes, senior Jacob Pickett, it looks like, was the base runner who showed off the excellent base running skills by stealing third and now coming home to score there, making the score now 2-1 in favor of the Sabercats.
So Pickett, the courtesy runner, gets on after DeCesaro's nice hit, and he gets his first run of the game. It's 2-1 Sabercats, with Provencia winding up for the 5-batter, Tanner Nelson.
Time is called on the mound
As Nelson walks off.
One runner on here, with one out in the bottom of the first. That one is called outside for the first ball of the at-bat.
his pitch count can't possibly be just 8. I think just because of the scoreboard missing out, I think
Yes.
got to be a bit higher than that. But it should change later on, so we can keep you updated on that. Big leadoff for Simpson out on, Javen Jacobs on second.
And the pickoff, a little high but unsuccessful as Jacobs is able to get back in time. And that was the shortstop, Ethan Lindauer, who is sneaking up behind him.
Javen Jacobs doing his job on second. We saw a great job of that against Mesquite last week, and he's doing the same thing here, causing some issues for Provencher on the mound, giving Tanner Nelson a chance to battle and drive in a run potentially for the Sabercats.
His time is called at the plate now, and that is Tanner Nelson. He's having a rather successful season, 3 RBIs on the year with a home run, batting .364 in the 1-0. That is hit nicely into the gap between left and center, and it will one-hop the wall. Center fielder gets it. That will drive in Javen Jacobs from second, and that is an RBI double for Tanner Nelson. And with 1 out in the bottom of the first, the Sabercats are up early, 3-1 on the Patriots. This will bring up Cale Herrera, left fielder, a lefty. That was a really nice hit by Tanner Nelson. He was low in the zone, and he was able to give it a ride out into the gap. That one is in there for the first strike.
Tough pitch to take if you're Cale Herrera. It was close on the line. He thought about it, couldn't really pull the trigger at the plate, and he starts off in a slight hole, 0-1. 1 out, runner on second.
Yes, and that was a really good pitch from Provencher to keep it jammed up on the hands as Herrera takes a big cut at that one. Gets himself in a bit of a hole here, 0-2. Frank DiGregorio, the catcher for the Sabercats, is on deck.
Herrera batting .222 in that left field spot for the Sabercats this season.
Provencher's pitch outside will be the first ball of the at-bat. Still ahead here is Provencher. And if you're Herrera, you have to be sitting and waiting for him to come back to you with a fastball. Want to stay away from those breaking balls if you can. That one, he just kind of throws the bat at that. First baseman has trouble with it. It was a slow roller, just kind of skirted under the glove, and Herrera will get on there.
Jonathan Veerman's with the tough play to make there at first base, but it's a play he's got to make, and it allows Cale Herrera to get onto first and put runners at the corners for Frank DiGregorio, batting .315 with 6 hits and 5 RBIs on the year. So he might just be the guy you want at the plate in this sort of spot. Leads the team in RBIs.
Yes, and if you're the Patriots out on the field with your pitcher on the mound rather struggling to get out of the inning, you know, you need to make the simple plays there. And that's one I'm sure Veerman is going to be upset with himself over, as the throw to second gets away from the second baseman, and the runner will score from third. And I believe that will be Tanner Nelson moving over, or excuse me, is that Herrera?
Tanner Nelson scores the run. Cale Herrera steals second and then gets an extra base added on after the error from the catcher to go to third. Runner at third, 1 out, 1 ball. Frank DiGregorio in a good spot here to drive in a run to make it 5-1 for the Sabercats.
And that one lifted up into center field. Runner on third will tag. Throw a little high for the cutoff man, and he will not have a play at the plate as the Sabercats bring home another.
First baseman, number 5.
A sacrifice fly there for, I believe that was DiGregorio.
Kyle Herrera with a stand-in walk-in score from third makes it 5-1 Sabercats here on the bottom of the first. High pitch from Provencher to Cole Stocks, the 8-hitter in the lineup. for Saguaro.
And the 1-0 from Provenza. A little high, even up the count at 1-1. Excuse me, that will actually bring the count to 2-0. Cole Stocks. It's ready at the plate. That one is hit in the gap. Oh, a nice play by the shortstop from his knees. Not in time. Veerman having to scoop that one off the dirt as Cole Stocks gets in with what I believe will go down as a hit.
Yep.
It was a tough play for the shortstop, and he was able to run that out.
You're correct. Lindauer with a good play out there. Short, not tough throw to make. He was never really going to make it at this level from his knees. Going away from Veermans, who's able to hold on to it this time to ensure it's only a one-base hit for Stocks. That means Aiden Bronska, the 9-hitter that we talked about in the pregame, needs to have success to the plate.
With a pickoff attempt over to first.
Really slow, obvious throw there, though. Gives an easy keep at first for Cole Stocks.
Yes.
Provenza does his job.
Didn't seem like Cole Stocks had too big of a lead over there, but Provenza still wants to let him know that he's paying attention to him as he delivers, and that is in the dirt. 1-0 for Aiden Bronska. Bronska on the year batting .333, driving in 1 run. He has 5 hits on the season. He looks to keep this 2-out rally going. That one hit sharp to first base. Veerman will make a nice play on the line drive, and that will end the first inning. A rough one to start for Provenza, but nonetheless, the Sabercats have a lead of 5-1 heading into the top of the second as we take a break here on the Varsity Sports Show Network.
Let me know if I'm stepping on you at all.
Not at all.
So I can
keep doing it.
Yeah, that was the ones that Derek.
Thousands of athletic teams depend on adrenaline fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Their goal is twofold. First, to equip athletic teams to meet those goals by raising more money in less time and providing the very best technology through their digital platform. Their job is to take the fundraising off the coach's plate and guide them through steps that are proven to get results every time. How easy? There are teams raising over $50,000 in just an hour. It starts with one call to Adrenaline, 602-999-1845 or adrenalinefundraising.com.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show Network. Again, we are here at Saguaro High School with the 4A Desert Sky matchup between the Saguaro Sabercats and the American Leadership Academy Queen Creek Patriots. It's the first pitch there from DeCesaro, swung on and missed. At the plate now is number 7.
Another strike thrown out there by DeCesaro.
Excuse me, that is Braden Emke out there, number 7. He's second baseman.
Emke, one of 2 Emkes on the Queen Creek roster. The other is, sorry for the pause here. We've got Braden, who is a junior infielder, and Josh, who is another infielder. He's a sophomore.
And that one there is in the zone as Emke will strike out looking as DeCesaro looks to keep it going. Gave up that 1 run in the first, but I'm sure he's looking to make up for that. As you said earlier, he seems to be one of those pitchers who kind of gets his cool as the game goes on, as that one is in there for strike 1.
And he's got 2 strikeouts here early through, 3 strikeouts early through the lineup here through the first 7 batters. DeGregorio attempts to frame that second pitch, but it remains a ball. I think we've got a 1-1 count. Might be 2-0. That's a strike.
And that one is in there. We'll bring up a 1-2 count, I believe, in.
At least, I think. Yeah.
Yes, this of course is
White.
Yes, this is Josh White at the plate.
White fouls one off to keep the at-bat alive. Scoreboard still struggling today. We're not going to get that pitch count up there all the way because it's just going to keep resetting. But at least we got balls, strikes, outs, and the score, which is all you need.
Yes, and actually, you will have to forgive me. The last batter was actually, yes, it was Braden Emke, and this now is Josh White. Excuse me. As he fouls that last one off, the 1-2. Low, called a ball. Evens out the count at 2-2.
Caleb Simpson out there at third base thought for sure that was a strike, and he was going to run in to catch the ball from the catcher, DeGregorio.
That one is inside on the hands. Will make it a full count for White.
Touches the jersey of White, but almost does at least. As you said, full count for White.
And that one is fouled back against the backstop, and that will continue this at bat. Josh White, of course, the left fielder for the Patriots. Of course, he is a senior on the team. Looking to get a base runner on for the Patriots, as that is fouled back and stuck in the fence.
I don't know about you, Sammy. I'm going to say that's pretty impressive.
Definitely. We'll have to see if they get that down before the end of the game.
We'll ask Edwin if he can get it.
And the full count pitch is outside as he walks Josh White.
For Queen Creek, John Kuntz, that's what he was looking for. Get a runner on base, a great battle for Braden White to earn a walk there. He earned as much as he liked there. And he gets his chance on first base, 1 out.
Yes, and as you were saying, I think Josh White was able to foul off 3 or 4 of those pitches in that at-bat. 2 or 3 of those being while the count was full. As now we have Danny Arnson stepping in to the box for the Patriots. He takes a big cut at the first pitch. DeCesaro burns that one past him. It will bring up a 0-1 count with 1 out here.
Arnson, the junior. He's got 1 more year left after this, but he wants to win now. And he's got a hole to make up.
And that pickoff attempt unsuccessful.
Not a big leadoff for White, but clearly, again, like you talked about in the bottom of the first, the pitcher wanting to let the runner know, yeah, I'm here, I'm game, as we get that pitch count up a little bit more.
And that is fouled off as Arnson stays aggressive in this at-bat. We'll bring up an 0-2 count. As we have Queen Creek player number 9, that is Ty Lilly, able to get the baseball.
Exceptional work from Ty out there.
Great use of the bat there. As we return now to play I believe it is the 0-2 count is in the dirt.
DeGregorio holds on to that one, is up and ready to throw to first just in case. Good active play from the catcher.
Yes, and we'll see if Josh White decides to extend that secondary lead with DeGregorio looking to make that play. And a big cut for strike 3, and Arnson will go down.
Perfect high pitch there from DeCesaro. Gets his 1, 2, 3, fourth strikeout in the first 2 innings of the game. Let's see if he can add a 5th to close out the top of the second for Saguaro.
Yes, and this will bring up the top of the order with Connor Peterson. That one is in the dirt.
Connor was not actually on our roster received before the game, so much so that the announcer only called him Peterson. We're not going to give him the same luxury. We're going to call him his first name, Connor. We're going to give him that.
That one, I believe, is swung on.
It was indeed. Good pitch by DeCesaro. Little breaking ball, sort of away from the plate, sort of on the strike zone. Either way, good pitch to get it to 1-1.
And the 1-1 pitch hit high over, foul on the first base side.
No play made.
First baseman Cole Stocks not able to make a play over there. It's kind of a shallow fly ball. Don't think there was really any chance at that. But now DeCesaro getting himself ahead. Bring up a 1-2 count. One runner on here at first. As that runner goes, hit sharply to second. And that is made look easy by the second baseman, Aiden Bronska, for the Sabercats. No runs across for the Patriots, and the Sabercats will hold on to a 5-1 lead as we get ready to head into the bottom of the second inning here on the Varsity Sports Show Network.
Introducing Maverick Electric Bikes, the world's newest and most modern bike to date. The 7-speed Shimano drivetrain gives you the flexibility to get a workout in, relax and cruise, or grip it and rip it. Maverick bikes are collapsible, so you can take them anywhere, anytime. With up to 25-mile-per-hour speeds, 60-mile range, and all-terrain capabilities, we're breaking the mold of the e-bike industry. Life is short. Ride Maverick.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show Network as the Sabercats get ready to start the bottom of the second, leading off for us. The top of the order with Ty Nelson, who was able to show off his speed with an inside the park home run in that first at-bat. As that one gets past him a little outside, it'll be called a strike, though. 0-1 for Nelson.
Not just Ty, but Joe Mickey out there as the third base coach calling him in was a brave call, but probably the right call as we saw him score pretty easily to get that inning started off the right way after going down 1-0 in the top of the first. Nelson helping out his pitcher DeCesaro with that inside the Parker. Let's see what he can do here to extend the lead maybe for the Sabercats.
And the 1-1 is lifted in the shallow right field. The right fielder has some trouble with it, and that will drop as Nelson moves over to second, and he will hold up there as the throw comes in. And with the wind in that one, you have to imagine it was tough to play out there and right with the wind blowing from right to left. And that was, right fielder Connor Peterson out there and right, who was unable to make the play. And Nelson gets on with a leadoff double. And that brings up Thomas DeCesaro.
So Ty Nelson, 2 plate appearances, an inside the park home run, and a stand-up double. He'll be on the Varsity Sports Show Saturday morning, 9:30, with head coach Joe Mickey. And your very own Sammy Rivera. I will not be in attendance for that one. But we'll get a little bit of Vince DeLisio there as well, I would imagine. He's the brain behind the organization, and he does a little bit of camera work as well from time to time. We also have Edwin working production and the camera right now that's looking at you at first base and home plate.
Yes, and that will bring up the 1-0 pitch to DeCesaro. And that is in the dirt as Provenza falls behind in the count. 2-0.
Thank you.
And as you were saying earlier, with back to that Ty Nelson inside the park home run, and it's really been evident all throughout this first inning or so, bleeding into the second, is the aggressive base running by this Sabercats team. Like you said, Coach Joe Mickey almost having no problem sending Ty Nelson to the plate back in the first, and it absolutely paid off, and they have been on top of Provenza ever since.
That's been the MO for Sabercat baseball, at least at the early stages of this year, even in those couple of losses early on in the season when they started off really slowly. They've picked it up recently, obviously, with 2 wins.
Yes, and the 3-0 to DeCesaro now, as Provenza is way behind in the count now. That is fouled back.
Getting a little bit of cheer from the home fan base here. They're pretty loud. We saw that against Mesquite. We saw they traveled pretty well to Queen Creek. That's a tough drive for some of the parents and fans out here. But at home, they can certainly get loud on you, and they've done that early, and that's probably had a bit of an effect on Jacob Provenza.
Yes, you have to think so. As the 3-1 from Provenza to DeCesaro. That is a chopper over to short as he loses his footing as he makes the play on the ball and is unable to make the throw. That is shortstop Ethan Lindauer, but he is able to hold up the runner at third. Sabercats now have runners on first and third, with DeCesaro getting a pinch runner. That is, again, number 7, Jacob Pickett.
So Pickett getting some early base running time here, and you talk about the aggressive base running. That was very evident right there. Not even thinking about staying on second base was DeCesaro, as he easily walks to third. Or that wasn't DeCesaro, that's right, that's Ty Nelson going out there. DeCesaro getting the single, and then the courtesy runner as we see Javen Jacobs.
Ooh, and
Big cut.
yes, Javen Jacobs way out in front on that first pitch. Provenza gets on top 0-1 to start. And again, the high IQ of the base runners for these Sabercats. Ty Nelson, as you said, once he saw that ball, where it was going to go in the gap, he knew the shortstop would have a difficult play on it, regardless of if he was able to field it cleanly. And as we saw, he was unable to keep his footing, unable to make the play. And the base runner Pickett moves over on that last pitch, with now runners on second and third as Provenza's up 0-1. That one fouled back behind home plate into the softball field. And Provenza on top now 0-2.
Big battle coming up here for Javen Jacobs at the plate. 0-2, he's got to dig out of it. Runner on third and second. Let's see if he can drive in a run for the
Yes,
Sabercats.
Jacobs does have 3 RBIs on the season. See if he can add a few more to that total, as that one is high. We'll bring the first ball in the count. Bring up a 1-2.
Jacobs doesn't even think about taking a cut at that one. Understands that it's not one he wants to swing at, and he moves on to the next pitch. 1-2.
And Pickett over at second base. No one giving him any attention as he takes a big lead. And Jacobs way out in front once again. He will go down swinging for, I believe, the first strikeout on the day for Provenza. This will bring up Caleb Simpson, the third baseman for the Sabercats. He as well has 3 RBIs on the season. 1 out now in the bottom of the second, as Provenza gets ready to deal to Simpson from the stretch.
Simpson working that left-hand side of the box. Lefty out at third base.
And that is low in the zone, practically in the dirt, with Danny Arnson doing his best to frame that. But that will go in as a ball. 1-0 is the count. the wind picks up a bit. That one in there, called a strike, evens up the count at 1-1.
Much better pitch for Provencha here, and you have to say that his second inning, he's picked it up a little bit. He's settled down. He's figured it out. Good work from Arnson behind the plate to keep that going as well. But he's got to get out of the inning.
Yes, and I think a big part of that too is trusting your fielders around you, and trusting them to make the play.
Which he hasn't always had quite yet, but you never know. Baseball's a long game. Can change on a dime. As we see Cody Simpson, or Caleb Simpson. That's the fourth or fifth time I've called him Cody. I apologize to the Simpson family. But let's see if he can extend the lead for the Sabercats.
Time is called before Provencha delivers that pitch.
Shortstop seems a bit bewildered by the lack of chance Provencha gets to throw the pitch there. But Simpson calls time. Not the best pitch from Provencha. Something to work on, something to build on.
So we have the lefty-on-lefty matchup here with Provencha and Simpson. Simpson takes a cut, and that will be called a strike. Evens up the count at 2-2. And you have to wonder if there's a play to the infield, what the Patriots will do, whether or not they will try to get a runner if there is a play at the plate, or whether they will just go with the safe out at first. The 2-2.
Got to take the safe out.
In there, strike three looking on Caleb Simpson. And as you were saying, Provencha picking it up here in the second inning, able to get his second strikeout of the inning and of the game. That time getting Simpson looking as it brings up Tanner Nelson for the Sabercats, and that is hit into center field. Runner from second, Pickett, will come home as he stands up, and that brings home both Pickett and Nelson.
Nelson and Pickett score on a 2 RBI single from Nelson, and that's yet another big-time hit in a big-time spot for Saguaro. It's 7-1 early on here. Not yet cruise control for the Sabercats, but sort of approaching that area where you just want to get out of the game with another number upwards in that W column.
As Provencha gets ready to deal a pickoff over at first. Again, not much of a lead over there at first, but still just want to keep the runners honest. Provencha doing his best to control the game from the mound. That is lifted foul down the right field line. And it appears a play has been made.
Correct. Tanner Nelson flies out.
Excuse us, our view is partially obscured to the right field line where that was hit, and that was Connor Peterson able to get the third out of the inning and get Provencha out of that. Only giving up 2 runs that inning. Now a 7-1 lead for the Sabercats as we take a quick break here. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show Network. Ty Lilly leading it off for us here in the the top of the third inning. And again, we are here at Saguaro High School in this matchup between the Sabercats and the Patriots. Saguaro off to an early lead here, 7-1, with DeCesaro still looking to keep that demanding lead as he delivers. And that is lifted into shallow left field. Left fielder will get under it easily and make the play. That is left fielder Cale Herrera.
Shortstop, number 11,
As
Lindauer.
DeCesaro gets the quick first out of the inning, bringing up now Ethan Lindauer.
Lindauer, the one runner to score so far for your Queen Creek Patriots. I guess they're not your Queen Creek Patriots, but they are the Queen Creek Patriots.
Yes, of course, if we do have any fans, parents, or friends viewing from Queen Creek.
Welcome
As-
in.
Absolutely. And that one was fouled back. It'll bring up an 0-2 count for DeCesaro to Lindauer. So that is outside. Lindauer was able to get the only run so far for the Patriots. And that was back in the first inning. Big swing and a miss. And excuse me, it appears our scoreboard was wrong. That will bring up a 1-2 count now as DeCesaro gets himself ahead. And that one gets Lindauer way out in front as DeCesaro notches another strikeout today. 2 outs now in the top of the third, bringing up Jacob Provancha, pitcher for the Patriots.
Perfect start to the inning for Thomas DeCesaro here. 2 batters, 2 outs. He's got 5 strikeouts on the day, and that ball is lined straight up the middle, right at DeCesaro. Picked up by Javin Jacobs out there in center field. Stand-up single for the pitcher, Jacob Provancha.
And you can clearly see why he is in that cleanup spot for the Patriots. And DeCesaro that time, after he dodged the ball, had a big smile on his face as he popped up. Now with the runner on first, 2 outs, that will bring up Austin Aldis.
DeCesaro obviously much more comfortable with no runners on than runners on. But he's struggled a little bit more than the average pitcher, I would say, with runners on base this year. So this is a big spot for Queen Creek with a runner on base, 2 outs to see what they can do.
And that one is inside. Will be the first ball of the count. And I believe there was a base runner sent in, a courtesy runner for Jacob Provancha, as the 1-0 pitch is lifted into left field. And again, Cale Herrera making it look easy out there in left field. And that will end the top of the third, as the Sabercats are able to keep the Patriots off the scoreboard once again, holding on to a 7-1 lead over the Patriots, as we take another quick break here from the Varsity Sports Show Network.
Everything you've ever told yourself, every form of resistance, every fight you've ever battled, every problem that you've ever had, we've got the solution for it. It starts with you.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show Network. We are here in the bottom of the third inning in this matchup in the 4A Desert Sky region between the Saguaro Sabercats and the American Leadership Academy Patriots. And they, of course, are from Queen Creek. Leading us off here for the Sabercats is catcher Frank DiGregorio, as Provencha's first pitch is outside, starting off the count 1-0 for DiGregorio. Last time DiGregorio was up, he had a fly out to center field as that one is high. Now 2-0. DiGregorio getting himself ahead in the count. Provencha looking to battle back now as he starts his windup and deals the 2-0. That one will be low and outside again, bringing it to 3-0 now. Last time we had a 3-0 count, I believe it was to DeCesaro, and he went ahead and swung on that, fouled it off though. We'll see if the Sabercats stay aggressive on this one. That one is low and inside, practically in the dirt, as DeCesaro gets the 4-ball walk, and he is the first runner on for the Sabercats here in the bottom of the third.
4 pitches, 4 balls, and an easy walk for DeCesaro, who's going to get a courtesy runner. That doesn't look like Pickett this time. That's going to be number 17, Chase Seo, who we saw last time out against Mesquite. He was also a courtesy runner. He got in and scored against Mesquite. That was a crucial run to sort of turn the tide against the Mesquite Wildcats. Let's see if he can do the same here and keep this momentum going for Saguaro in the bottom of the third.
And a good pickoff attempt there from Provencha, but an even better job on the base path by, Chase Seo.
Chase Seo, he was going anyway, and a tough throw to make for Viermans at the first base. And it's an easy steal opportunity for Seo to get himself into scoring position.
And again, that base running IQ by these Sabercats that time. If you're going to steal against a lefty, you go on that first movement. And that time, that's exactly what Seo did. The junior for Saguaro, as he now has the shortstop creeping up on him, who now backs off. Provencha deals, and that is hit up the middle. Seo will head to the plate. There won't be a throw. It's cut off by the first baseman, Vierman. And that is an RBI single for, that was Cole Stocks. And now that will bring up Aiden Bronska, the second baseman for Saguaro.
Seo scores, makes it 8-1 here. We should remind viewers that the rule in Arizona high school baseball, regardless of class, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, is if it is a 10-run lead after 5, the game comes to a conclusion.
Another pickoff attempt to start the next at-bat for Provencha that time. Stocks will stay put at first base as Provencha works from the stretch. And the first pitch to Bronska is outside for the first ball. The 1-0 high as Bronska lays off. Bronska, the junior, playing second base for the Sabercats. On the season, he does have 5 hits and 1 RBI. As he is ahead now, 2-0 against Provencha. Provencha again picks off over to first base.
It's a really obvious pickoff motion from Provencha, don't you think, Sammy?
It is, yes. It's rather slow, but at the same time, you kind of have to wonder, just how aggressive he is being as a pitcher, and whether he's really trying to pick off the runner at first, or if he's just trying to keep him honest over there, as that is lifted into right field, and the play is made that time by right fielder Connor Peterson, and that will keep Cole Stocks at first base, Bringing up now the top of the order for the Sabercats, Ty Nelson.
And I think we'll use this opportunity with Ty Nelson coming to the plate for the third time today to talk about our Stessa Movement Company Sabercat Player of the Game. Nelson, an early contender for that with a inside the park home run and a double that he scored on eventually.
As he rips one again into center field, that one, the play is made though this time by Ty Lilly as he gets it in, and again, Cole Stocks kept at first base. Sabercats unable to advance the runner.
You can see the pop off that bat, though, with Nelson. He's clearly a threat at the very top of the lineup for Saguaro. For right now, early on in the season, he's been their, I'm not going to say their go-to guy, but he's clearly been one of their big guys with what's now 6 runs, 6 hits, and a home run, an inside the park home run. So he's flashed that speed. Not as high of a batting average, but a good day today for sure.
And the first pitch to, I believe that is DeCesaro now.
That would be Thomas DeCesaro.
That was a strike in there. 0-1 count with 2 outs here. Another pick off to first base as Vierman will hold the tag for a moment and give it back to the pitcher, Provencha. Again, just trying to keep that base runner honest over there at first base. Sabercats have been aggressive on the base path so far today. And the score shows that with an 8-1 lead for the Sabercats as the 0-1 pitch is outside, evening up the count at 1-1 for Thomas DeCesaro, who he himself has been doing an excellent job on the mound today. He's been really commanding, and as we said in the opening, throwing strikes early was going to be the key, and he has done absolutely that. In the 1-1, as the runner goes in the throw, not in time. In fact, it'll get away from the second baseman, but shortstop Ethan Lindauer able to back him up on that. Runner advances, and that was a ball into DeCesaro, making the count 2-1 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position.
Cole Stocks finally gets off first base and gets a tough spot. He's in scoring position. We've seen our pitcher Provencha struggle with a runner on second.
And that is fouled off back along the third base line into the softball field, evening up the count at 2-2. And DeCesaro on the season, as far as batting goes, has been having a rather successful season himself, driving in 4 runs. He has 6 hits on the season. I believe he picked one up earlier today. And time, like you were saying, lots of hesitation out there on the mound, and time is called, giving everyone a moment to catch their breath. And you can feel this next pitch is extremely important for this Patriots defense to get out of this jam, only giving up 1 run. As the 2-2, low, the breaking ball, not able to catch the corner. And it will make it a full count here for Thomas DeCesaro. Again, there is a runner on second. As Provencha gets ready to deal in the full count. Pitch fouled off, catcher unable to hang on to it.
Just skims the bat of Thomas DeCesaro there. He stays alive in a big spot to sort of push this game beyond a reasonable doubt for Saguaro.
Yes, looking to put some more up on the scoreboard, especially now with 2 outs now and a runner in scoring position. Don't want to leave any on, as that is in the dirt. DeCesaro picks up a walk, a good at-bat.
Very good at bat at that. DeCesaro helping his cause. We talked about him today. He's a big player at the plate, and he's on the mound today. He's done much better today, in my opinion, than his last outing against Mesquite. We're going to get another courtesy runner, and guess who it is again? It's our friend Jacob Pickett with his 3rd courtesy run of the game, and he has scored twice, so a good day for Pickett.
And this will now bring up center fielder Javen Jacobs to the plate for the Sabercats. First pitch is in there. A good pitch there by Provancha. Getting ahead in the count early. 0-1 now. And Jacobs had a walk earlier today and a strikeout. That time it was swinging. And the pitch again, a big cut by Jacobs. Digs himself a little bit deeper into the hole. Now 0-2 with the runner on second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Sabercats looking to keep the lead increasing as they have been all over Jacob Provancha today. That one is outside. Tough one to lay off. Yet Jacobs does, and that will make it a 1-2 count as Provancha now is up to 65 pitches, according to our scoreboard here at Saguaro High School. Beautiful field they have out here.
Beautiful backdrop as well. Nice amount of trees, some roads, some cars.
Absolutely.
Even some clouds today. You don't get that much out here.
Yeah, some thin clouds in the sky today, though it is looking rather barren at the moment as that is swung on, and we will have it called foul as Jacob stays alive in the at-bat. Sabercats have done a good job of that today, working themselves into the at-bat and staying alive, even forcing some walks once they get deep into the at-bat.
And we talk about Javen Jacobs. His game is not at the plate. His primary function in this Sabercat team is that center field role where he can make plays out there.
As that is hit sharp to third, they'll try to make the play at second, unable to get the force out with a looked like a throw that was in the dirt, and that will bring home number 5 Cole Stocks, who had seemingly been trapped on first base for this entire inning, and now he gets home. That will move Pickett over to third base, and Jacobs, of course, getting on that time with what I believe will go down as
9.
a fielder's choice.
I'd almost call that an E5 out there from the third baseman. A low throw, tough to be made there, regardless of. But yeah, fielder's choice. I could get behind either one of it. As we see Caleb Simpson return to the plate. A little bit of jawing between Simpson and some of his good buddies over here on the first base line in the stands. Let's see if he can stand up to the chatter.
Again, runners on first and third as Provancha deals outside that time to bring up a 1-0 count. Again, lefty against lefty here. Earlier in the game, Provancha was keeping it inside and on the hands of Simpson, making it difficult to get around on the ball, but the 1-0 will be in the dirt, bringing it to a 2-0 count. 2 outs again. And we have to wonder if the Sabercats will continue to stay aggressive on the base path and whether or not they will send Jacobs as he goes there on that pitch. They will attempt to pick off the runner at third. Pickett does not work, and Saguaro able to get runners over to second and third. That was,
Danny Arnson.
Danny Arnson, thank you, for the Patriots.
Not the worst idea from Danny Arnson. Get that lead runner with 2 outs, but at this point, you've got 2 outs. You don't really need to worry about the runner at first anyway. Just make sure they don't put another run on the board as he walks the bases loaded.
Yes, another 4-ball walk for Provancha as the bases are now loaded with Simpson getting on after that walk. This will bring up Tanner Nelson, right fielder for the Sabercats. He, of course, has a home run on the season and 3 RBIs with an opportunity for more here, and that is hit into left field. It got past the third baseman. Runner will come around from second, and he will score standing up a 2-run RBI.
Pickett grabs another run. Javen Jacobs gets another one of his own. And Tanner Nelson taking a bit of a run at his brother here for that Stesso Movement Company Saguaro Sabercat Player of the Game. As we bring up the number 11, Kyle Herrera. I think it's Kyle. I've heard that from the stands a little bit today, and we've been saying his name wrong, but you live and you learn.
That is hit. A liner into center field. Center fielder will make the play, throw it in. That is Ty Lilly, but not before Simpson will score from second, increasing the lead for Saguaro. We have lost our scoreboard again out here on the field.
But that should make it 11-1 here in the bottom of the fourth.
Again, 2 outs still in the bottom of the fourth. Saguaro was able to get a couple runners on early, and then a couple foul outs kind of stalled the Sabercats offense for a moment, but they are right back at it as that is hit shallow into right field. And the second baseman unable to make a play on it. That time it is going to be, Emke. That is Braden Emke, unable to make the play there. Was a bit of a difficult play, especially with the wind. Those back behind first place, always a difficult ball to play, as we now have a meeting at the mound between catcher Danny Arnson and pitcher Jacob Provencha, as well as I believe that is shortstop Ethan Lindauer, coming in trying to just calm down Provencha a little bit and get out of this inning. Now giving up 6 runs here in the bottom of the third, making it 13-1 in favor of Saguaro.
Some game time here for the freshman, Christopher Margarella, as he comes in as a courtesy runner. And again, we talked about the meeting on the mound there between some of the infielders and obviously most importantly the pitcher and the catcher. That's going to be what you're going to see a lot from here on out. John Kuntz is probably going to stick with Provencha on the mound the rest of the game, just so he doesn't have to use any other arms in a game that is looking like it's just to be about over.
Yes, and now up to the plate we also have, it is Cole Stocks, the senior for the Sabercats. An 0-1 count to him as Provencha deals. That is in the dirt. Looked as though it was a breaking ball. And that time it was Arnson getting out in front of it, making the play, keeping the runners where they are. Runners on first and third. As that last pitch evens up the count at 1-1. Provencha now at 76 pitches. As he throws that one high. Falling behind now 2-1 to the first baseman Cole Stocks, who, like many others on his team, is having a great season at the plate, batting .400 on the year. As Provencha deals, and that will be hit foul down the third base line. The runner over at third base, I believe that is Kyle Herrera, was able to jump out of the way of that one.
Close to start, but obviously it leaked pretty far foul in the end there. Almost kind of finding the way between Herrera and third base coach Joe Mickey.
Yes, and they have kept Austin Aldis very busy over there at third base today. And a breaking ball is hit. Provencha unable to make the play. Shortstop, a low throw that Veerman is unable to make the play on, and that will also bring home a run.
Kale Herrera scores the run for the Sabercats to make it, what is that now, 14-1?
14-1 is the score for the Saguaro Sabercats.
So they've reached the total that they found last time out on Tuesday. From here on out, if you're Joe Mickey, what do you do? I think you have to start to see this is sort of just get out of here with the win. Make sure nothing really, really strange happens.
Absolutely. This is one you absolutely want to hang on to. As that is hit foul down the right field line. But this is one that you really just want to hang on to and make a commanding win for your pitcher, Thomas DeCesaro, who again has been near flawless on the mound today. There was a fielding mishap that partially played a factor into the run getting across earlier. But the lone blemish on the day for DeCesaro is that one is in the dirt. Now 1-1 to, I believe this is Aiden Bronska,
Correct. And
the
not
second
even really,
baseman.
not even really hang on. It's more of just kind of keep the score where it is. You don't want to give up anything the rest of the way. You want to put a statement out there. You want to say we beat a team 14-1. We're a contender in this 4A state title, and maybe even more importantly with a team like Mesquite in their district, we want to win the district. And that's sort of the first thing you look at every year in high school sports. You say, can we win the district? And if we can, we want to win it. And if we win the district, we're a contender for the state title, and we'll go from there.
As Provanska deals the 2-1. That one called a strike, a bit high. Nonetheless, it'll bring the count to a 2-2.
Maybe a bit of a courtesy call there from our home plate umpire, just trying to get get Provanska out of the inning. Provansha was right the first time.
First baseman not even holding on the runner over there, as that is lightly hit behind the shortstop, and it will land. Runners coming around. The runner from second will score. I believe that is the courtesy runner for Di Gregorio, number 21, Christopher Margarella, the freshman for the Sabercats, able to get home and notch another, making it 15-1. Runners now on first and third for Provansha, as he is having difficulty getting out of this inning. Earlier this inning, we mentioned he was at about 65 pitches. He is now about to deal his 85th pitch on the day.
Margarella, one of the many underclassmen here on this Sabercats roster, joins Cade Schumard as the other freshman on the roster. A couple other sophomores sprinkled in there, including our potential Stessa Movement Company Sabercat Player of the Game. Tanner Nelson he's still, I guess, a contender for that list, but his brother Ty seems like he is the front runner right now at the bottom of the fourth.
Yes, and Provansha dealing now to, this is Ty Nelson at the plate.
Sabercats working on an 8-run inning here, Sammy. What do you think about that? I mean, that's a great inning if you're Joe Mickey.
Yes, and I want to say a majority of those were scored after they had 2 outs. They were able to get I believe his pinch runner across earlier in the inning with a hit from Cole Stocks, as that one is lifted into center field, and the play is made again by Ty Lilly, who has also been busy out there in center field. That will bring up the 3rd out of the inning and will take us to the top of the 4th after our break, the score being 15-1 in favor of Saguaro. And we will be right back after this break on the Varsity Sports Show Network.
Second base, third.
Yeah, but to get out, you can't. It doesn't click anything. You just gotta get out of it. You know.
Okay.
Strikes.
Yep.
Balls. Next at bat to reset all the strikes and balls. Next at bat. Innings. This is for top or bottom. So you can see bottom of the 3rd.
Okay.
Fifth inning,
top 5.
It'll actually be top 4. Yeah.
So we're on top 4. We're at brand new inning, 15-1.
And then there should be more if you scroll. There you go.
Yeah, and pitch
I'm
count.
not sure if you want to.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll mess around. We'll mess around with that pitch count a little, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, just get comfortable with it.
Awesome.
I mean, help us a lot.
Yeah.
You guys are going into the actual.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You got a lot going on. Yeah. Cool. Are we running any promos or anything right now, or are we still on basically? Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show Network. We are here at Saguaro High School. Saguaro on top now, 15-1 against the Patriots of ALA Queen Creek. It has been a tough out for Provencha so far, but just now we do have a pitching change for the Sabercats. Coming into pitch is senior Kent Litzner as he replaces DeCesaro, who had an excellent performance on the mound today, giving up 1 run and 5 hits, and that being across 3 innings pitched, as the first pitch is in there, strike 1 for Litzner.
Not much information on Kent Litzner here. He has made an appearance this year. He's has yet to give up an earned run for the Sabercats, and that's about all we've got for you. Shout out to Max Preps and the people keeping stats for the Sabercats.
As that one is in the dirt, evening up the count to 1-1. This, of course, now is Jonathan Veerman at the plate, who struck out looking last time. Another one in the dirt. A 2. I believe before the Patriots went in to the dugout following that last inning, they got a break and yelled hits, hoping to spark some life in the at-bats. Thus far, have not had much luck. Again, DeCesaro had a great outing, as that is a chopper hit to Caleb Simpson, who handles the tough hop and makes a great throw over to first base. Again, Caleb Simpson making that play, as Cole Stocks showing off the stretch over there at first base. A nice play over there by Simpson. Again, it took a weird hop off the lip of the infield, and he was able to make the play regardless, as they get the first out of the inning here in the top of the 4th. Litzner now dealing to, that is Braden Emke at the plate. Or no. Now Porter McCabe, number 6, the junior.
Solid little breaking ball. Doesn't quite sneak into the zone. That'll make it a 1-1 count.
And Litzner thus far has had some trouble finding the strike zone, but still has some good speed on the ball, as that one is in the dirt again. 2-1, the count now to Porter McCabe. Time is called, as we have something going on down the right field line, and play is now set to resume again. Sorry, our view is slightly obscured down that right field line. We were unable to see, as that one gets away from the catcher Di Gregorio, bringing up a 3-1 count now for McCabe, as Litzner tries to battle back.
Josh White providing us with the ball again for Queen Creek. He's in the on-deck circle.
This, of course, is Porter McCabe's first at-bat of the game. We'll see if he's able to get anything going. That one, a good pitch there by Litzner, and McCabe fouls that off back behind home plate off the backstop, and it will bring up a full count now for McCabe with 1 out now. Again, top of the 4th here. Still a warm afternoon here, about 91 degrees, as we're getting ready to resume play in this in the top of the 4th here. And that one outside, Litzner walks McCabe as he gets on first base. And now that will bring up Josh White, a senior for the Patriots.
Warmest day in a while, don't you think? I mean, it's been pretty nice out here in Scottsdale and in the valley as a whole for quite some time here. But we get Porter McCabe on first and Josh White at the plate.
That one is outside, as Litzner falling behind. Again, that has been the quick trend thus far in this half inning. Unable to get that first strike across in the new at-bats, as he does a better job there. That one jamming up the hitter. Still able to get it called a strike now, evening up the count at 1-1. Patriots trailing in this one by 14 runs, a score now of 15-1 in favor of Saguaro, as another good pitch there by Litzner. He gets ahead now 1-2 in the count. Hasn't really taken much of a look over at first, other than when he comes set in the stretch. A good breaking ball, just misses a bit high. Evens out the count at 2-2. And on deck, we have catcher it is Arnson. Danny Arnson, there he is. Was unable to find his name for a moment on the roster. Danny Arnson on deck as that one is called a ball. 3-2, a full count for Litzner. One out now.
Tough start here for Litzner, but he's clearly in this game for a reason. Joe Mickey wanting to give DeCesaro a rest. And I would keep in mind here for the people at home as he throws a strikeout. Right as I say, he's having a tough start.
Yes, and Josh White thought that was going to be a ball as he took off for first base, but to no avail as strike 3 is called, bringing up 2 outs now in the top of the 4th. Again, Danny Arnson now at the plate, the junior catcher for the Patriots.
But what I was going to say is you want to keep in mind here, even though Litzner is on the mound, I do believe Thomas DeCesaro will now act as a DH, and he will remain a batter for the Sabercats if this game continues beyond the 5th inning and if he has to come up again.
Yes, I believe that is right, as that first pitch is a strike for Arnson. Again, 2 outs now as the 0-1 is hit high into right field, and the right fielder able to make the play. That is Tanner Nelson, and that will retire the side. Again, no runs across for the Patriots on that one. Sabercats clinging on to, rather coasting with a 15-1 lead over the Patriots as we take another break here on the Varsity Sports Show Network.
Introducing Maverick electric bikes, the world's newest and most modern bike to date. The 7-speed Shimano drivetrain gives you the flexibility to get a workout in, relax and cruise, or grip it and rip it. Maverick bikes are collapsible, so you can take them anywhere, anytime. With up to 25-mile-per-hour speeds, 60-mile range, and all-terrain capabilities, we're breaking the mold of the e-bike industry. Life is short. Ride Maverick.
We are good.
We are back here on the Varsity Sports Show Network. Again, the Sabercats ahead now 15-1 as they were able to tack on 8 runs last inning in the bottom of the 3rd, as we now have a new hitter in the lineup now. Let's see, that is number
22, Michael Rosales, a senior.
22, Michael Rosales.
And also with that change at the plate, we see a lot of changes around the field for Queen Creek. A new pitcher on the mound, Ethan Lindauer, who came in from short. Porter McCabe goes to second. We can't quite tell who that shortstop is, but it looks like it's going to be number 8, Connor Peterson, which he was out in right field, so now we have no idea who the right fielder is. So this is going to be fun.
It appears as though they may have moved Ty Lilly over to right field, number 9, though the question may be now, who is in center? As the 1-1 pitch is called outside a ball. We'll bring up a 2-1 count.
Jacob Provencha is out in center field now, thanks to the crowd for that one there. A little bit of a struggle from us, but...
Yes, might be a bit easier for the crowd from Queen Creek, American Leadership Academy, Queen Creek, excuse me, to identify their players. Again, thank you from those fans who helped us out. And the 2-1 pitch outside again. 3-1 count.
Rosales, an early plate appearance for him here, probably earlier than he would have expected today, but great for him, great for the Sabercat baseball team, and he's in a full count. Or sorry, is it a full count?
I believe it is a 3-1 now, as that one is fouled off,
And
which should bring us to a full count. Again, we are having just some slight difficulties with our scoreboard here.
I guess that means we just have to kind of watch the game instead of cheating.
Keeping us working over here. As the full count. And, excuse me, is that Rosales will pick up the walk there. Able to get himself deep into the count. And Lindauer unable to get the out.
Jacob Pickett is going to come to the plate now. He's scored, what, 2 runs today? 3
Yes,
even?
it appears so for DeCesaro. 3, yes,
That's
has to be
correct.
3 now.
Pickett has been busy as a courtesy runner, and now he's going to get busy at the plate.
As Lindauer tries to pick off Rosales. I think he was trying to catch Rosales off guard as he works from the stretch now with a runner on first. That pitch low. Be a ball, bringing up a 1-0 count. Again, this is now Jacob Pickett, number 7, at the plate.
On deck is number 16, Rolando Cota, a sophomore. So we're getting a few substitutions in here for Saguaro, kind of sensing that this game is a little beyond reach for the Queen Creek Patriots, and they're going to get out of here with their 4th win of the season, it looks like, for Saguaro. Nothing's over yet, though.
No, it is not. And that last pitch called a strike, and a hard hit ball over to third base. Again, they are keeping third baseman number 15, Austin Aldis, busy over there. He was unable to handle that one off his glove. Runners now on first and second now for Lindauer.
Rosales was held up at second by Joe Mickey. I think that's the first time I've seen Joe Mickey actually hold a runner all game. They've been aggressive all day, sort of sensing the game is kind of getting out of hand here. They're going to keep some runners on the bases for Rolando Cota, number 16.
Yes, and as we were saying earlier, with the way the score is going and the game trend, it would kind of be a good time for Saguaro to get some of their younger players or some of the juniors who are on the team who don't see the field as often. That one called a strike, an 0-1 count for Lindauer as he deals to Cota.
Rosales will go.
Rosales.
Slides into third, and he is safe by the looks of it. Yep, they're going to call him safe, so we'll get runners on second and third.
That
as
time.
Pickett also goes.
That time ball just looked to get away from the catcher, Danny Arnson, that time. Shaking his head, clearly upset with himself over not being able to make that play. Runners on second and third. As Lindauer deals another pitch high. I believe that will bring our count to a 2-1. And we'll see here if Cota is able to bring across any more here for the Sabercats. Another one high and outside. A 3-1 count now as Lindauer visibly frustrated on the mound. Lindauer, the 3-1. Hit sharply to left, and a nice diving play by the left fielder. And it looked like Rosales started to cheat down the third baseline rather than tagging up. And that play by the left fielder that time, Josh White, an excellent play, and he is able to keep Rosales there at third, keeping the lead at 14 for the Sabercats.
Can't quite tell who this is at the plate. Again, those jerseys, however fantastic, are tough to read number-wise.
I believe that's number 15, Brody
Carruthers.
Jr.
Carruthers. We're saying something right.
As that is fouled off towards Coach Joe Mickey, who's unable to make the play over there at as the third base coach, and he is hearing it from his players from the dugout.
Clearly not a third baseman, Joe Mickey.
And the 0-2 is in the dirt, making it a 1-2 count. Again, runners on second and third after Josh White was able to make the play out and left to keep the runners where they are. Another pitch in the dirt for Lindauer, making it a 2-2 count with 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. As he works from the windup. That one swung on, and it will be a strikeout, the first strikeout for Lindauer, and it is our understanding that this is the first appearance for Ethan Lindauer. So we can write that off as his first strikeout on the season, excuse me. As this now brings up another Sabercat, excuse us, unable to catch the number. As another is dealt in the dirt. This is now number 8, Brett Pikus.
I'm not going to try that one.
Yeah. Senior for the Sabercats.
It's going to be a tough bottom of the fourth for us to figure out who's playing where, Sammy.
Yes, it will be. It will be interesting for sure as the 2-2 is dealt. Excuse me, it appears that was the 2-1. Or again, our scoreboard is clearly wrong out there.
1-1. Now it's 2-1.
And there is the 2-1 there. Thank you, Ryan. And our scoreboard is back. 2-1 now. Lindauer. Again, working from the windup with a runner on third. He must not feel threatened very much by Rosales over there as Chopper is hit over again to Coach Joe Mickey. This time off the hands. Again, hearing it from the Saguaro dugout. As his players expect him to be able to make that play.
It was a little bit better of an effort this time, I think.
It was. That one, of course, was hit more or less directly to him, and a big swing and a miss. And that will retire the side. Lindauer able to keep the Sabercats off the scoreboard. Able to escape the scare, keeping the score 15-1 in favor of the Saguaro Sabercats. Patriots now coming up to bat next as we take a break on the Varsity Sports Show Network.
So now we get to the fun stuff. Yes. 23 is on.
Thousands of athletic teams depend on adrenaline fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Their goal is twofold. First, to equip athletic teams to meet those goals by raising more money in less time and providing the very best technology through their digital platform. Their job is to take the fundraising off the coach's plate and guide them through steps that are proven to get results every time. How easy? There are teams raising over $50,000 in just an hour. It starts with one call to Adrenaline, 602-999-1845 or adrenalinefundraising.com.
Introducing Maverick Electric Bikes, the world's newest and most modern bike to date. The 7-speed Shimano drivetrain gives you the flexibility to get a workout in, relax and cruise, or grip it and rip it. Maverick bikes are collapsible, so you can take them anywhere, anytime. With up to 25-mile-per-hour speeds, 60-mile range, and all-terrain capabilities, we're breaking the mold of the e-bike industry. Life is short. Ride Maverick.
Going to give us the rest of the changes. But we got the one that matters. Are we live?
Okay. And we are back here on the Varsity Sports Show Network. Leading it off here for the Patriots is Connor Peterson. And we do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Sabercats as the first pitch is swung on and missed. A strike, and that is pitcher Cade Schumard.
And I'm going to say it's likely that that's probably Cade Schumard's first pitch of his high school baseball career, as he joins us on the field in a wholesale of changes out there for the Sabercats. Rolando Cota, one of the ones we found out, he's behind the plate. Kurt Arnold at first. And as for the other 6 guys out there, we're going to figure it out as we go along.
Yes, and the second pitch was fouled off, and as you see, a big swing and a miss there. The first out for Cade Schumard, again, the freshman.
Cade 1 for 1 in his high school career, a perfect 100% strikeout rate.
As now lefty Ty Lilly comes to the plate in the top of the 5th with 1 out, as that is hit deep into right field. The right fielder will go back, and he's able to make the play. That one just seemed to...
Yeah, again, it was a routine fly ball for the right fielder. We're going to try our best for the next maybe even half inning, depending on how this game ends, to figure it out. But as for now, good play by the right fielder. I'm sorry I don't know your name.
Yes, and 4 pitches and 2 outs already now. Make that 5, as that was high in the first ball of the new at-bat now.
Schumard dealing well in a what is an apparent first outing, but there's a second fly ball that's going to be made by the center fielder. 3 up, 3 down for Cade Schumard in his first appearance in his high school career.
Yes, and that will actually end the game for us now, with the final at-bat being made by Ethan Lindauer as he flies out to center field. A nice play made there by the center fielder, as we now have both teams on the field shaking it up and saying good game to one another. Again, your final score here at Saguaro High School here in Scottsdale, Arizona is 15-1 in favor of the Sabercats. A rough game for the Patriots, but again, the Sabercats able to pick up their 4th win of the season, and the Patriots, meanwhile, will take their 4th loss of the season, making their Desert Sky region record 1-3. And for Saguaro, that will make them 3-1 in the Desert Sky region. They, of course, are currently 2nd behind Mesquite, and they increased their win streak to 3 here with another commanding win over American Leadership Academy Queen Creek. And our Stessa Movement Company Sabercat Player of the Game, I think we can outright and clearly give this to Ty Nelson, the leadoff hitter for the Sabercats. He just had an all-around great game, and again, just started off hot with that inside the park home run. And again, Ty Nelson, he is your Stessa Movement Company Sabercat Player of the Game as we get ready to wind down here on the Varsity Sports Show Network. Thank you again for tuning in here on this Thursday afternoon on April 1st.
And tune in to Saturday morning, 9:30. You're going to get to hear your head coach of the Sabercats baseball team, Joe Mickey, as well as Ty Nelson, a player who was going to be on there regardless, but now he's the player of the game. So you're going to get to hear some questions for Coach Joe Mickey. Maybe we'll talk a bit about his fielding out there at third base. And to Ty Nelson, we're definitely going to talk about the speed he flashed on that inside the park home run. Other than that, I think we're done here. This is Ryan Sikora signing off for Sammy Rivera, Edwin Rodriguez, and Vince Delicio here from Saguaro High School. Oh, and Aiden Pincus, who worked our behind the plate camera. So thank you to him. He is a student at Saguaro. We are done here from Saguaro High School on a beautiful Thursday afternoon.